lot of goals, we can maybe get in the back door and get into that medal round. Again, the mood here is not very good. The guys are a little down, a little disappointed, but I think on the other hand they realize that if they can win the next 3 games and can score a lot of goals, that they can get in the round. I've had a chance to talk to some of the players and ask them what their feelings were and what their thoughts were right now.
Well, we're really disappointed. It's been a long year, and we always look back to that first game against Canada, and the effort really wasn't there. And last night we knew our backs were to the wall. We played really well against the Czechs, and every guy gave his heart, and things just didn't work out.
I think everyone's a little bit disappointed after the first 2 games we lost, but I think everyone's picked their heads up and realized that we have to come out and play the next 3 games, and we have to do the best we can and come away with 3 victories, and it's important right now. And I think everyone's got the right frame of mind, and we're going to go and play.
After being successful in 1980, you come out here, and obviously it has been a disappointment compared to that. Has it been a real major disappointment to you?
You know, Mike, I think there's so much, having not lost a game in 1980, you just kind of have a feeling that you know, you could do that again. And, you know, there's a lot of hopes and a lot of dreams of what people want to do. And, of course, a lot of guys on the team believe that, too. You know, the reality of the situation was that we didn't play well our first game, and we got beat by a better team last night. So, I don't know. It's disappointing, you know, but I guess kind of looking at a different light now that we are playing the best teams in the world. I'm just trying to do our best, and our team's trying to do our best.
Well, obviously you can see from the mood of the players that they're disappointed in the outcome of the first 2 games, but yet they feel that there still is a possibility, if they can win the next 3 games, that they can get into the medal round. When you look at it and really understand what the Olympic Games are all about, yes, we want our team to do well, and yes, we want the kids to try to come home with a medal, but their lives are going to continue. They're going to move on to the National Hockey League. Some of them are going to go out into the business world, and they're going to look back and reflect on what they did as an American and as an athlete. They are doing something that very few people in their lives get an opportunity to do, and that is to compete in the Olympic Games. And if they don't win a medal, they don't win a medal. Life will continue, and things will move on for them.
Mike Eruzione, captain of Team USA at Lake Placid in 1980. And what a good job he's doing for us here on these Winter Olympics. Incidentally, the key game and those slender hopes that Mike was talking about of the USA team to make the medal round hinge on the game between Canada and Finland. Now that's being played.
Did you mention, Dal? Here's the good save by the goaltender. Now the rebound comes out, and through all the motion and knocks the net off, and that's why we didn't have a second shot on net.
Rakota's centering pass. Skitters to the near side. Corey Millen scrapping for it, and we'll have a face-off. 38-year-old Lou Barrow, native of Brooklyn, long-time amateur hockey coach.
Come on, let's go, Blue. Come on now.
Started ice skating, a story well known by now. At the time he was 21, he had learned all of his hockey on the streets of Brooklyn on roller skates. Took to the ice for the first time at the age of 21. Now the Olympic head coach. No score early in the game. As we come to you live from the Zetra Arena, several things have to happen for the U.S. to make the medal round. The first thing, of course, is that the United States has to beat Norway today. Secondly, Finland has to beat Canada tonight, and hopefully that game will be close. I'll explain that in a minute. Then the U.S. would have to beat Austria. That's likely Monday. Czechoslovakia would have to beat Finland. That's likely Monday. The U.S. would have to beat Finland next Wednesday. That could be, I guess, regarded as a toss-up. And then Czechoslovakia would have to beat Canada next Wednesday. And that is likely. And if all those things happen, as we have an icing call here, you would have the USA, Canada, and Finland, all with marks of 3-2. The Czechs would be 5-0. They would automatically go in. And then it would boil down to goal differential in the games between these 3 teams, Canada, the United States, and Finland. So it sounds very complicated. It sounds like there's no chance at all, but there's more than the slightest of chances, Mike.
Anything can happen now. I still believe that these 3 teams are going to finish 3-2, and it's going to come down to that goal differential.
Let's go with it. Comes out to Ally Afraidy. Slap shot is wide. And the Norwegians are able to clear it out to center ice. But Butko is able to take it away from Sven Lien. Now Lien comes back in over the blue line, and it's taken away by Paul Gay. This is the number 2 line for the United States. Bjugstad and Gay have yet to really get it together through the first 2 games. They were quite productive, especially toward the end of the pre-Olympic schedule. Brady gets it in over the blue line as a new line comes out for the United States with Couple and Sampson now on the ice. And this is Chris Chelios. Couple, Sampson, and Griffith form this unit. Taken away by Pär-Arne Christensen. He loses it as he comes in over the blue line. And a loose puck in front. Mason was able to get his stick on it to clear it out of danger. Nice pass ahead to Couple, but he's offside. Mark Couple in over the blue line prior to the puck. Early in the game, no score. Just a couple of minutes ago that the net has been coming off its moorings more than you'll see in any other NHL rig.
Well, it seems that the nets are just put down with little pegs, and they're really not posts put into the ice. And anytime you touch them or move them, obviously, as what's happened so far, is any little touch has knocked them off. And most NHL rinks have the poles right into the ground, and that's dangerous, but you don't have this happen as often.
Chris Chelios tries to keep it in. Couple scrapping for it in the corner, checks Karlstad into the boards, and the Norwegians come back the other way. Christensen up ahead to Lien. His shot, and it's saved by Mason. As Bob is tested for the first time, a look there at Chris Chelios. Montreal owns his draft rights, and he should join the Canadiens after the Olympics.
Well, there's a save on that last shot. Look at the glove save by Mason. Now, the difference between Mason and Barron is Mason is a left-handed goaltender, and Mason is rather a left-handed goaltender, Barron a right-handed goaltender. So look for him to make a lot of saves with that glove. He does have a fine glove hand.
3 minutes and 20 seconds into the first period. No score. And we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. Pat LaFontaine, who missed practice the day prior to the Olympics, was held in check very much in the game with Canada on Tuesday, and really only had one good shot on goal in the Czechoslovakia game, trying to get on track.
I think, when you look at LaFontaine, he missed a breakaway the other night, and he hadn't missed a breakaway all season, so the fate that he's had so far in the Olympic game seems to go as the team goes.
First period with no score. That's Lien taken down as Mark Fusco comes back the other way. Drop pass for Fusco, but he couldn't handle it. LaFontaine scrapping for the puck. And the Norwegians, who have lost only once in history to the U.S. team in international competition. And a penalty here coming up against the Norwegians. As you look at Ed Olczyk, Oystein Jarlsborough goes to the penalty box for holding. The referee from Finland, P.Juhala. And so the U.S., which has had a great deal of difficulty manifesting its opportunities, Mike, on the power play, will have a man advantage here.
Well, it was evident in the game against Czechoslovakia. They had that 5-on-3 situation. Czechoslovakia had 2 players in the penalty box, and the United States only got 1 shot on goal. They've really been panicking a little on the power play, and a lot of that sometimes, Al, is because the team is struggling a little, they're not playing well, and when that happens, it shows in all parts of your game, and it's more evident in the power play because that's when you're supposed to be more offensive-minded. So this is a big power play for them. They've got to get on track.
Jarlsborough in the box for holding. Ellingson for Norway scrapping as it comes out now to Chelios. Chelios is centering pass, and a great save by Goldstein, and another off the rebound, and then LaFontaine's backhander goes wide. So Pat can't buy a goal, and Norway is able to clear its end. Chelios is trying to get it started. LaFontaine wasn't looking, and thus the pass is intercepted, and it's centering pass now, taken away by Hirsch up to Olczyk. Olczyk cross-ice pass for Hirsch. He has to circle back as the Americans now come back onside to get it started again, and Chelios dumps it into the corner. Olczyk chases it down. Along the boards out to Chelios. Now David Jensen has the puck taken away, and it's cleared back to center ice by Lugdahl. So again, the U.S. having a very difficult time as we look at the penalty time remaining. Less than a minute now on the power play. David A. Jensen, his shot is wide. And again, the Norwegians are able to clear the zone.
They haven't been able to set up at all. It seems they're just trying to take the puck in and let the shot go. A situation like this is to relax a little, set up, and try to move the puck as much as you can.
There's been a line change with Fusco, Gay, and Bjugstad on the ice. Bjugstad to Bob Brook at the point, back to Bjugstad. Bjugstad takes the return pass, and that one was off the pad of Goldstain, and we've got a penalty here coming up against the U.S. against Fusco. So with 23 seconds remaining in the penalty to Jarlsborough, the U.S. losing Fusco 2 minutes for hooking.
Here's a good opportunity, a nice give and go to Scott Bjugstad. Bjugstad's shot goes wide, and I see the hook by Fusco right there. He got the blade of his stick turned over, and he got it stuck in the pants of one of the the Norwegian players. So now the U.S. will have a 4-on-4 situation for 23 seconds, and then they will have to be a man down.
Scott Fusco, number 9, he's the forward. His brother Mark, number 6, the defenseman, both from Harvard. A lot of open ice right now, 4-on-4, with 10 seconds remaining in the penalty to Jarlsborough. This is Gay taking control at center ice and then leaving it for Bjugstad. And the penalty to Jarlsborough is over, so Norway now with a power play chance, but offside. Skating in over the blue line was Roy Johansson. 1 minute 33 seconds remaining now in the penalty to Scott Fusco.
Alan, it's 4-on-4 situation for the U.S. If they can have a little more opportunity like that during the course of the game, they will get to use their speed. From what I've been judging so far, they do have much more overall team speed than the Norwegians, but you've got to use that to your advantage. And in a 4-on-4 situation that they just get through with, it is going to be for their advantage today if they can get that.
USA chant in the background with 14 minutes remaining in the first period. Norway with a power play chance here. This is their star, Skara, number 19, Bjorn Skara. Losing the puck, taken away by John Harrington. He, along with Bill Rakota, both played on the 1980 gold medal team, along with Mike Ruzioni. Rakota, number 8, and Harrington takes the puck in over the blue line, but Rakota, as you can see, was already into the Norwegian end, and thus that is offside. And we played 6 minutes, 23 seconds in the first period.
Bill, that boy, Kip.
It's a tough job making a decision.
44 seconds remaining in the penalty to Scott Fusco as the Americans try to kill off the Norwegian power play, and Mark Fusco is able to clear it down to the Norway end. So now a half minute remaining as the Norwegians try to capitalize. This is Arnett Bergson taken away, and back out to center ice it comes. Bjorn Skora, number 19, over to Per-Arne Christensen, number 7. As they try to get set up, now only 15 seconds remaining in the penalty to Fusco. Lovedahl shoots it into the corner. Bob Brook is back to get it for the U.S., and this is Fusco with 5 seconds remaining in his brother's penalty. Up ahead to LaFontaine, nice pass. That comes in, backhander, and a save. Still loose in front, the penalty is over. The teams are skating at equal strength as Norway comes back the other way. Circling in and unable to backhand it was Losamon. Now after the point to Olczyk. And down into the Norwegian end, where LaFontaine can't get it. It comes out to the point to Iafredi, and the Americans unable to really get things together in the Norwegian end thus far. Iafredi stepping for it. Comes out to the point. Slap shot is blocked very nicely by David A. Jensen, who clears it the length of the ice. And the call is made here for icing, and also a penalty is coming up here as well against Norway. The parents of Pat LaFontaine, his mother Jay, dad John, looking on. Most of the parents of the fellas are here. Number of relatives, a lot of fans. You can hear the USA chant. Stefan Foyne is called for the penalty. You don't see that too often, Mike. You had an icing call coming up.
It was a penalty that I don't know what Foyne was thinking about, because it happened just before the U.S. player touched the puck, and he just tripped him for no reason. So Norway giving the United States an opportunity again in the power play, and they seemed towards the tail end of that last power play, Elliot, they started to generate some type of offense, and it seemed like they know what they want to do on the power play.
The line featuring Bjugstad, Gay, and Scott Fusco out there on this power play, the second American chance with a man advantage. Hirsch to Gay, back to Hirsch. Gay again. Now Hirsch sets up straight out front. It's deflected high into the seats with 11:13 remaining in the first period and no score. A minute 23 seconds remaining in the American power play. No score. The U.S. and Norway with 11 minutes remaining in the first period. U.S. with a man advantage and will have a face-off in front of the Norwegian goaltender Jørn Goldstein.
Well, the tempo is still not quite what I expected it might be going into the game. The U.S. team right now is still a little flat. I think it's going to take them a little while to pick themselves up a little. As I said earlier, they need that first goal. And I think that then they'll get more adjusted to the situation at hand, because they're still coming off 2 tough losses. And I don't know deep down if they really believe that they're that confident in the way they're playing that they can win the game. So I think it's important they get that goal just so they can jack themselves up a little.
The Americans, despite their 2 losses, will be heavily favored in this game. Norway is 0-2 in the tournament as they're able to clear the zone. And you look at the penalty time. Norway has lost to Czechoslovakia 10-4 and to Finland 16-2. Now this is Mark Fusco coming in, backhander, and a nice save by Goldstein. So Fusco tried to do it himself, coming all the way in, but Goldstein was equal to the occasion.
Well, that was a nice move by Fusco. He's a very talented offensive type defenseman. Now watch the little move he makes on the defenseman right here. He beats him, he walks in, but he doesn't really have that much time to get the puck on his forehand, so he lets a fairly weak backhand go that Goldstein made a nice save on.
Puck is loose, and there is the net again coming loose. So a stoppage of play with 43 seconds left in the American power play. No score.
No, you're right.
35 seconds left in the U.S. power play. Al Michaels, along with Mike Eruzione, captain of the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, live from the Zetrà Arena as Jensen tried to get it to LaFontaine, but Pat couldn't get his shot off. Now Jensen again has it blocked by Goldstein. And a whistle and a face-off in front of Goldstein with 18 seconds remaining now in the power play.
That was a real fine save by Goldstein off David Jensen. One thing that I liked that I'd seen right there was that Goldstein challenged Jensen. He came right out. Most European goaltenders don't do that. They tend to stay in the goal. Jensen had the puck in the slot, and Goldstein came right out and challenged him and made a nice save. That was similar to the power play goal that Jensen got against the Canadians.
15 seconds left in the penalty. And they clear it out to center ice. Iafrate. His pass for Kumpel is too long, and they have effectively killed off the penalty. And a whistle and a face-off in front of Goldstein with 18 seconds remaining now in the power play.
That was a real fine save by Goldstein off David Jensen. One thing that I liked that I'd seen right there was that Goldstein challenged Jensen. He came right out. Most European goaltenders don't do that. They tend to stay in the goal. Jensen had the puck in the slot, and Goldstein came right out and challenged him and made a nice save. That was similar to the power play goal that Jensen got against the Canadians.
15 seconds left in the penalty. And they clear it out to center ice. Iafrate. His pass for Kumpel is too long, and they have effectively killed off the penalty. As Stefan-Челль comes out of the penalty box, so the teams are now at equal strength with 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first period. Steve Griffith with the puck. He's picked up in the neutral zone, and the Norwegians come in but offside as Foyne carries in over the blue line. Ed Olczyk is the 17-year-old forward from the Chicago area. Ed and Randy Olczyk have made the trip from the Windy City to watch their son, whom a lot of people expect to be perhaps the first man picked in the upcoming NHL draft.
Well, he's impressed people already here. I got to believe it'll be between Al Iafrate and Ed Olczyk to see which one may go first or second.
That seems to be the general consensus. Another offside here and a face-off outside the blue line upcoming.
He's an interesting story in Ed Olczyk. He's 17 years old. The first time I met him, he called me Mr. I said, Ed, you don't have to call me Mr. I'm not that old. And ever since, it's been Mike. But he's a 17-year-old kid that has got the maturity of a 23, 24-year-old person.
He does. Not only the maturity, he looks much older than he is. And he's a pretty good hockey player, playing on the #1 line at the age of 17. The U.S. and Norway, there he is, number 12, Ed Olczyk. He plays on that line with Pat LaFontaine and David A. Jensen. This is Mark Kumpel, who scored the only goal for the U.S. against Czechoslovakia. Griffith now has it back of the net. His centering pass. Nobody is there to handle it for the U.S. And Stefan Foyn comes back the other way. Picked up by Iafrate as he comes in over the blue line. David H. Jensen, back of the net, along with Sampson. Now Foyn is there. Foyn looking for an opening out in front. Out it comes to Abrahamsson, whose shot is deflected wide. Couple. Now Millen around the boards to Griffith. And a face-off. Well, the U.S. unable to capitalize on the power play today. Two occasions, 1 for 12 through the Olympics power play chances.
And, you know, Al, that's like a foul shot in basketball. It's a great opportunity to capitalize and get a point or a goal. And in the U.S. case, where they have been struggling offensively, the power play is the key. Power play, special teams, those win games for you.
Backhander, and the rebound goes in. As number 15, Arne Bergsing, was there. Mason had made the initial save. The puck was right on the doorstep, and in came Arne Bergsing to put it home.
Now again, the U.S. failing to clear the puck out. Mason makes the original save, and there's the puck lying right all alone. Bergsing just comes in, taps in. Here's another look at it. See, they can't get rid of the puck. There's Chris Chelios. Instead of getting two hands on it, he only gets a piece of it. Now here's the save by Mason. Now watch the puck lying there all alone. Bergstein comes in, just puts it into the net. So the U.S. trailing now 1-0 halfway through the first period. Al, similar to our situation when we played Norway, we fell behind 1-0. And again, the U.S. is playing very similar to the way we came out, very tentative right now, and not moving the puck and have no cohesiveness whatsoever.
This is Lovedahl coming in. His shot is wide. The score is similar, but the feeling, though, Mike, is not remotely similar, because at that time in 1980, the U.S. team had a win and a tie. Through the crease goes a centering pass, and we've got a penalty coming up here with 8:09 left in the period. Tom Hirsch goes into the penalty box, so Norway has a man advantage now. 2 minutes for interference. At time 11:51 of the first period, so the Americans will have to try to kill off the penalty, with Norway already on top 1-0 in the first period.
Now that's one thing the United States has done extremely well in the Olympic Games so far. They've killed off 15 penalties and only allowed 3 goals in that situation. That's not a bad percentage. The trouble is, when you have a situation where you've got to kill a lot of penalties, it disrupts your line combinations and you only get to use certain people.
In over the blue line comes Lovedahl. Sampson is there to try to get it away. They cannot get it out to center ice. Lovedahl checked by Fusco. Out to the point it comes. And then back to Lovedahl, who has set up in the corner. They have Christensen out in front of the net. And now a penalty coming up to negate the power play, as the Norwegian forward, Lovedahl, will be going off. 2 minutes for tripping.
Here's a look at Lovedahl. Watch, Fusco doing a good job on him, and right here, he pulls his feet out from underneath him, and Mark jumps in the air a little. So the U.S. now, in that 4-on-4 situation that I talked about earlier, using their speed to an advantage right now should be able to give them some scoring opportunities.
Team skating at equal strength, 4 aside for the moment. When the penalty to Hirsch expires, the Americans will have a 53-second man advantage. Right now there are 50 seconds left for the penalty to Hirsch. Harrington skates in, and David H. Jensen's shot is saved again by Goldstein, who's doing a remarkable job early on. And a whistle as the net again comes off its moorings.
That's 3 times, and we've had opportunities after. Watch the pass by Harrington. What a pretty behind-the-back pass. The save is made. Now we've got a chance right here to pick up the puck and take another shot. And the post came off their mooring, and again, that's 3 times it's happened to us. Watch the pass by Harrington. What a pretty play, right behind the back to Jensen. The save is made, and any little touch, and they bounce up.
45 seconds remaining in the penalty to Hirsch. This is Jarlsbo. Leaving it for Abrahamsson. Up ahead to Jarlsbo. And taken away by John Harrington. Corey Millen doing the forechecking here, but the Norwegians come back the other way. Now it's Chelios with it as he circles back. 15 seconds remaining in the penalty to Hirsch. When he comes out, the Americans with a 53-second man advantage. Chelios skates all the way into the corner, looking to center it. Has it knocked away by Mira. And there's Hirsch coming out of the box. So the Americans now with 50 seconds remaining in their man advantage situation, which gives the Norwegians the opportunity to clear it down to the other end. Brook goes into the boards hard along with Skora as Olczyk also scraps for the puck. And we'll have a face-off. Well, Elaine Zayak on the left, and Kitty Carruthers, who along with brother Peter did very well last night in the short program. They are in 2nd place as they get set for the free skating pairs program tomorrow night. So they've got a very good chance to the Norwegians of picking up a medal. And we'll have it for you, of course, tomorrow evening. 30 seconds remaining now in the power play for the U.S. Norway on top, 1-0 here in the first period. Ellingson is able to clear it, and again the U.S. looking almost futile on the power play.
Maybe they better decline the next one.
Yeah, listen, he scored the other night with a man in the penalty box, scoring short-handed. Maybe that's the answer. Busko to Olczyk. Olczyk shot skitters wide, and the teams are at equal strength. Busko has it blocked, and back come the Norwegians now with Skara. The point back to Skara. Loose puck in front, and Nason goes down to his knees to make the save. And this time the net to the left side comes off its moorings, and another face-off upcoming.
These days, everybody's cutting the cord.
That line has struggled up until now. Al Iafrate, back of his net. Up ahead now, long pass intended for Bjugstad. Broken up by Abrahamsson. Around the boards to Bergseng, who scored the Norwegian goal. Game tied 1-1. 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the first period. This is Mira. Picked up by Iafrate. Loose puck and a shot wide off the stick of Christensen. And back out to center ice. Arne Bergseng. Shooting it in. Al Iafrate, who like Ken Olczyk is 17 years old. And back out to center ice now. Pass up ahead. Taken away by the American defenseman. First, over to Chelios. Chris can't control it. Neither can the Norwegians, and now Chelios has it back. Chris skates in over the blue line. Drop pass. Bjugstad back out to Hirsch to the point. And the pass intended for Hirsch is stolen by Bergseng. Shot goes wide off the stick of Samoan. Rumpel is there in the area to try to take control, but can't. And finally, it's Sampson, able to clear it back out to center ice. And shot in around the boards. Mason stops it back of the net, leaves it for Chelios. Pass up ahead to Sampson, who can't control it. Now John Harrington, member of the 1980 Olympic team. In fact, Harrington, number 23, assisted on Mike Eruzioni's goal that beat the Soviets. Harrington now with his line mate Pacoda, and the pass too long, intended for Phil, and back it comes now, not only to center ice, but all the way back into the U.S. end.
I was kidding Harrington before the game. I said, John, you got to start to score goals. This is your second Olympics, and you haven't scored a goal yet. He didn't get any in the first one, although he had 6 assists.
David A. Jensen scored the first 2 goals for the Americans in this tournament, the only 2 in the Canada game, and then Mark Kumpel scored in the loss to Czechoslovakia. Now Phil Pacoda, the team captain, taken out of the play as he comes into the Norwegian end. A little bit more than 2 minutes remaining in the first period at the Zetra Arena. And we'll have a face-off. 2 minutes exactly left in the first. We're tied 1-1. Live from the Zetra Arena. The U.S. and Norway tied 1-1. Al Michaels along with Mike Eruzioni. And the parents of Bob Brook out of Yale, Dick and Jackie Brook. Hometown Acton, Massachusetts, and it goes in as it trickled in after it appeared that the Norwegian goaltender Goldstein had made the save. The puck trickles in.
Well, Pat LaFontaine finally got an opportunity to score a first goal for the United States. His first of the Olympic Games, and it's not a typical Pat LaFontaine goal. The first shot is saved. Now watch how the puck rolls up a little. Now the first shot's going to hit the post right there, and then the goaltender reaching back, trying to gather the puck in, pushed it in the goal actually by himself. LaFontaine's first shot hit the post, and then Mr. Goldstein gave him a little break.
Not a work of art, but they'll take it as Jensen skates in. He tried to get it over to LaFontaine, but Abrahamsson made a nice play to stave off what might have been a goal as Hurst circles back to Chelios. Chelios into the corner. Old Czech pursues it. And the puck caroms up over the boards and into the Norway bench.
Now, it was an interesting look of Lou Vero when the goal was scored. Here's another look at the goal. Now watch LaFontaine pick up the puck. He tries to put it in, but it hits the post right here. The goaltender reaches back and says, okay, Pat, I'll give you this one.
Great
and
look.
He taps in. But the look of Vero after, just very reserved, very, you know, like the game was just continuing on. No one had scored a goal. You think he'd be jumping up?
Well, yeah.
That's why I'm not a coach.
Well,
I'd be jumping all over the place.
It's easy to say that, but what about your coach in 1980? I mean, Herb Brooks played Tom Landry for 6 days before we saw a smile crease his lips. A minute and a half remaining in the first period. A reminder that we are live and coming up immediately following our coverage of the Olympics today, our initial coverage, the first of 3 parts, the Pro Bowlers Tour will be coming your way, and then at 3 o'clock Eastern time we're back here, and then we're back again tonight in prime time. 5 o'clock this afternoon, ABC's Wide World of Sports as well. U.S. leading 2-1. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the first period. Out to center ice. Mark Flesko, who won the Hobey Baker Award while he was at Harvard. That's the college hockey equivalent of football's Heisman Trophy. Clock inserted, a minute to go now as Scott Flesko skates in. His backhander intended for Bugstad broken up. Back it comes to center ice, and we will have a face-off. Look there at Scott Flesko, who still has
Way to work, guys.
eligibility remaining at Harvard, 2 years in fact. His brother, whom we just spoke of, Mark Flesko, has completed his college eligibility. Oh, from Burlington, Massachusetts. Mason making the save, and it deflects into the corner. Hurst circles. 37 seconds remaining now in the first period. Nice pass up ahead to Phil Ricotta. He gets spun down, and there's a penalty coming up here. So the U.S. will have a power play for the next 29 seconds, the 29 remaining in this period, and should they not score, they'll begin the second period with a 1 minute and 31 second advantage as Per-Arne Christensen goes to the penalty box for Norway.
Well, a good chance right now for the U.S. to go up 3-1. Their power play the last time they were out on the ice, although they did not score, they seemed to set up a little better. Jensen with a couple of good chances in the slot. LaFontaine now, maybe after finally getting that first goal, he may be a little more relaxed, and this is a good opportunity to show his skills on a power play.
LaFontaine was on the face-off. Hirsch delivers it to Olczyk. Hirsch fakes a slap shot, tries to set up David A. Jensen out in front. He's able to get it to Chelios at the point, and then the Norwegians not only clear the end, but send it right in on basic. U.S. will not have time for even one last charge, and they'll let the time expire here and begin the second period with a minute 31 advantage. So after one, it's 2-1 U.S., and today's coverage of the 14th Winter Olympic Games will continue after this commercial and a word from your local stations.
Okay, back to you, Al.
I know they're having a good time, Donna. Well, that man's having a little better time right now, Lou Biro, than he did in the first two games. He watched his team fall behind 1-0 in the first period, and then come back on goals by Paul Gay and Pat LaFontaine to lead 2-1. Officials are checking the netting as we get set for the start of the second period. As we come to you live, it's about 6 o'clock here in Sarajevo right now, and about noon on the East Coast. And we'll pause 5 seconds here to allow our local stations to identify themselves. Al Michaels, Mike Garuzioni with you from Sarajevo as we start the second period. The U.S. in blue, Norway in white, and the American team on top, 2-1. LaFontaine, Olczyk, and Jensen out there, along with Chelios and Hirsch. With Bob Mason, the U.S. goalie today, Mark Barron, playing the first two games. Had things gone well, Lou Biro had indicated before the Olympics that Barron would have gone all the way. But in light of the two losses, he opts for the switch today. The U.S. as we start the second period with a man advantage here. A minute 4 seconds remaining in the penalty to Christensen of Norway. So an extra skater for the U.S. as Olczyk leaves it for David A. Jensen, and Chelios can't keep it in. Comes outside the blue line. Now pass to David A. Jensen, who loses sight of the puck. Olczyk scrapping for it in the corner. The Norwegians trying to take the pressure off, and they do as Hirsch can't keep it into the blue line.
Well, again, the U.S. failing to capitalize on a power play opportunity. Not so much failing to capitalize, but failing to generate any type of offense and have any type of a setup.
24 seconds remaining now in the penalty to Christensen. This is the big defenseman Hirsch. A pass up ahead to Gay. Skitters off his stick. Boyne scrapping for Norway in the corner, and Skara also there. Now Jarlsborough tied up along the boards, and a face-off with only 6 seconds remaining in the power play. United States on top 2-1. There is Per-Arne Christensen, who went off at the 19:31 mark of the first period. Brook takes it at the point. Return pass to Gay. He tries to center it. Then it's swept aside, and out comes Christensen. So the teams are now at equal strength as the puck is sent down the length of the ice, and we will have an icing call coming up here with 18 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the second period. From Sarajevo, it's 2-1 USA. We're back, the United States against Norway, live from the Zetra Arena in Sarajevo. And a look at what just took place during that commercial break.
I'll tell you, when things aren't rolling for you, they're not rolling. Right there off the face-off, Gay's shot hit the post. The rebound went to Fusco. His shot hit the post. They just can't bounce the puck in for him.
This is Scott Fusco right now. Back of the net. Up along the boards to Bjugstad. And they can't keep it in as the Norwegians come back the other way. Mason with a nice pad save. Brook able to get it back out to center ice. American team on top 2-1 as Gay skates in. Backhander and a fine save by Goldstein. In over the blue line. Bjorn Slura. He scores. Ellingson, number 4, the defenseman, Åke Ellingson, beating Mason from the near side, and the Norwegians have tied the game 2-2.
Here's a shot by Ellingson. Watch how Mason goes down, and it goes right between his legs. If anything, Mason may have gone down just a little too early. Watch Mason as he starts to go down. There's the shot right between his legs. As we call, that's known as the 5-hole. Here's a look from the side. There you saw the puck go right between Mason's leg, through the 5-hole and in. And right now the U.S., after failing to capitalize again, we talk about that power play, Norway is right back in the game.
A little bit more than 17 minutes remaining in the second period. Game time 2-2. And this is John Harrington. His pass up ahead to Phil Ricotta. And Ricotta loses the puck. Norwegians come back the other way. Paco Anderson, number 16, has it taken off his stick. And Ale Afredi out of his own end for the U.S. Ale Afredi gets taken down as he crosses the blue line. The pace is picking up a bit. And the shot is blocked, the rebound, and the pass through the crease is taken away very nicely by the U.S. as they break up a possible scoring opportunity. Christensen gets the puck ahead to center ice. The Americans now come back in as Sampson had to wait for his mates to get back onside, and by that time the puck winds up back in the U.S. zone. Chris Chelios up ahead to Hirsch, but he can't get started. Now Chelios passing it along the boards to Steve Griffith. Back out to center ice. Christensen taken down. Abrahamsson skates after the puck as Sampson picks up with it. Sampson is checked. And the puck shot down into the Norway end where we'll have an icing call here. 4:09 gone, second period, a 2-2 tie. Early in the second period in Sarajevo as we come to you live. A 2-2 tie, the United States and Norway. The U.S. still with a mathematical chance of making the medal round. A few things have to happen for that to take place. Number 1, the U.S. must win this game as they are offside here. Just to restate it basically for you, King Olav, the King of Norway, is here today, and there he is, watching his team, which has been trounced thus far in their 2 games, 10-4 and 16-2, turning in a good performance thus far. 2-2 tie is David A. Jensen has it for the United States. I'd like to alert our local stations. At the next opportunity, we will take a station break. But coming back into the Norway end. The U.S. unit, Mike, this seems a little out of sync right now.
Exactly. They're not moving the puck as well as we've seen them in the past. They just seem to be a hair behind on everything. Passes, shots on net, pucks aren't bouncing for them, and everything just seems to be out of sync a little.
Fusco getting it up ahead to David A. Jensen. And the U.S. again is offside. Al Afredi wears number 18 for the United States, and there is his father from Livonia, Michigan. Al Sr. doesn't look too happy about the way things are going. That sort of expresses the whole mood right now.
Denying the situation. Well, little things now, like the offside they just had there. That's something that throughout the year, they didn't have happen that often. They pretty much during the season this year were pretty smooth, well-organized group. And right now they're running around a lot. And again, as I mentioned, they're not doing the little things right. And the little things are what makes this team a good hockey team.
14:09 remaining. And we'll be back right after this from your local stations. Play is resumed at the Zetra Arena in Sarajevo, the United States, in a preliminary round game against the Norwegian national team. We're tied 2-2 with 13 minutes remaining in the second period. U.S. led after the first period, 2-1. And a face-off in front of the Norwegian goaltender, Jørn Goldstein.
There's a look at Corey Millen, the smallest player on the U.S. Olympic team. It reminds a lot of people of Neil Broughton. Neil was the centerman that played with us in the 1980 Olympics, who's playing for the Minnesota North Stars. And Millen is a very aggressive type player. He moves the puck extremely well, and he's extremely quick. This line of Millen, Brikoda, and Harrington had a real good last couple of games in Austria, and that's why he's kept them together.
The American team seemed to be absolutely ready to begin with a flourish. Played very well through the latter stages of January. They'd had a swale period in early January. Played well in those two games against the Austrian national team prior to the Olympics, but came out flat against Canada. Played fairly well against the Czechs, but lost the game 4-1 as Mason makes the save. Back to center ice. Brikoda tries to get it in and can't. And it's Brook taking Eriksson down at the blue line as Chelios circles back. 12 minutes now remaining in the period. Up ahead to Phil Brikoda. Brikoda tries to get it to Harrington, but Harrington taken out of the play very nicely by Ellingson. Eriksson with it, back of the net. Mascara, number 19, has it saved by Mason, with 11 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the second period.
Well, that shot was deflected. Mason did a fine job that time. What happened, Mason came out a little and challenged the shooter. And when a goaltender challenges a shooter like that and does come out, that's a sign of confidence. Goalies have a tendency when they're not relaxed to sit back in the goal. But when they feel good, they feel fine about the way they're playing, that's when they usually come out and challenge the shooter, as Mason did in that last shot.
U.S. team tied with Norway 2-2. Fusco with a nice pass up ahead to Kuppel. Now Mark Fusco gets the return pass and it's swept out to center ice. Again, for the U.S. to make the medal round, they would have to finish first or second in the division. Soon Czechoslovakia will go unbeaten. The only chance for the U.S. would be to wind up in a three-way tie with Finland and Canada with records of 3-2. And then it would amount to goal differential in the games involving those three teams that would send the second team to the medal round. So it's complicated and somewhat confusing, but first things first, the U.S. to stay alive must beat Norway today. And then they'd be helped out greatly if Finland could beat Canada tonight. And because of the goal differential situation, for not only Finland to beat Canada, but optimally for the U.S. to beat them by 1 goal only. We'll have a face-off upcoming. 10:48 to go in the second period, tied 2-2. Approaching the halfway mark now in the second period. The United States and Norway tied 2-2. Ally afraid he loses the puck. Mason doesn't see it and now finally does. So that could have been disaster. I afraid he couldn't control the puck. Mason was looking straight ahead. And fortunately was able to look down in time.
Here's what happens. This happened the other night and caused a goal. You see Ally afraid he loses the puck. In a situation like that, maybe all Al should have done was told Bob, watch it, the puck's at your feet. But again, it's a difficult situation for Eddie. I'm afraid he's a young hockey player, and I think his first thought was, I better get that puck or else I'm in trouble.
Back it comes the other way now as David H. Jensen makes the touch and the icing call. And another look now at what could have been the most fortuitous happening for the Norwegian team here.
See how it comes right out front. Now, if it didn't hit Mason's skate, that might have even gone into the net. But a heads-up play by Mason, finally realizing where the puck is. Instead of trying to bang it away, he covered it up, forced the face-off, which gives the U.S. team a time to regroup and get going again.
Come on, guys, we're not going to score.
Game tie 2-2. Save and the rebound attempt by Fusco coming after the whistle. So Jørn Goldstein again coming up with the save here.
Well, he made the original save. What the U.S. was a little upset was that watch Fusco come into the picture right now. The puck is still free. Goaltender the referee thinks it's covered, but see it bouncing around? Actually, it's in the corner at this point. But Fusco right there on the doorstep. U.S. anticipating a quick whistle there. Didn't get the break they wanted.
Game tie 2-2. Fusco's pass is intercepted and Norway able to come back the other way. Now this is Hurt. Down skating all the way in, and offside is the call. So the face-off coming up outside the blue line. Well, this, of course, is the beginning of a very, very big day on ABC Sports, because upcoming, the Pro Bowlers Tour to follow, and then we'll be back from Sarajevo, 2 more hours of coverage, followed by ABC's Wide World of Sports at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, and then, of course, primetime coverage tonight from Sarajevo. Game time 2-2 with 9.5 minutes remaining in the second period. Chelios nearly fanned on the shot. It comes back out to the neutral zone. Gay, number 19, over to Chelios. Chris, 21. Up ahead to Bjugstad. He can't handle it, but Chelios does. Can't save, and then Gay fans on the rebound attempt.
Again, Al, it seems the way things are going. Gay had the puck, nobody in the goal, and the puck bounced right over his stick. Not of any fault of Gay. The puck was just bouncing, and he couldn't get it down.
This has to be the height of frustration for the American team. This Norwegian team has yielded 26 goals in the 2 games thus far, and the goaltender today, Goldstein, has given up 11 of those, and he's played 44 minutes. So he's given up a goal every 4 minutes up until today. On ABC's Wide World of Sports today, the Ironman Triathlon World Championship will be the event you will see, and I got to cover that in a slightly different locale, namely the Kona coast of Hawaii, Mike.
I was supposed to be there. Running.
In October. Don't think you would have finished in the top 10, but you'll see it today on Wide World. 8 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the second period. And we're going to get a penalty coming up here to Bob Brook of the United States. Brook going in for elbowing at the 11:13 mark. Score time 2-2. Let's pick it up on the replay here.
Here's a look at the penalty by Brook.
Yeah. Little doubt about it.
They should use him on the goal line stand. Boy. But again, the U.S. just haven't been able to get the flow going, Al. The start of the game to the end, it seems when they should be shooting, they're passing. When they should be passing, they're shooting.
It's short-handed as Harrington sliding it through the crease. The American team has really only played one, what you'd call, good period thus far, and that was the first period against Czechoslovakia. That was the one that was punctuated by the power failure the other night. Maybe that's the key. Turn the lights out. Get Meredith to sing. 8 minutes and 15 seconds in the second period, the time remaining. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the penalty to Bob Brook. Christensen skating in for the Norwegians. A centering pass, and that comes back out past the blue line. Mira, number 8. Here to Mira. Over to Roy Johansson. Now Abrahamsson has deflected away by Griffith, and Brook is able to, or Hirsch rather, is able to clear it along the boards. You saw the penalty time remaining for Bob Brook. Right now 45 seconds left in the Norway power play. P.Arne Christensen. Lovedahl and Floyd on this line for Norway, as Chelios is able to clear it out, or does he? Yes, he was able to get it out past the blue line, and that's why you have the offside call with now 28 seconds left in the penalty to Brook.
Well, you know, Al, we were talking about the U.S. team, the way they've been struggling a bit. And I think the reason it was tough was because they finished the season so well. They finished so strong. They played so well throughout the year. There's a player putting a little ice.
That's,
looks like in his hand, on his elbow, on his shoulder. Put it in the back of his neck.
As you well know, ice is sometimes hard to come by in Sarajevo. With, what do they call it, bled?
And it melts so easy.
Yes.
For some reason, ice at home
rapidly
lasts a little longer.
23 seconds left now in the penalty to Brook. And time for one last rush, perhaps by the Norwegians. A little slow in getting this rush started. They're wasting time here as they're down to 7 seconds now, and the Americans forechecking very effectively and able to kill off the penalty as Brook exits the box. Team skating at equal strength as the U.S. comes back in now, and the shot is another save by Goldstein off the stick of Pat LaFontaine. Skara for the Norwegians. He's probably their best player, number 19, shooting it in back of the net. Abrahamsson trying to keep it in. Under 6 minutes to play now in the second period. The game tied 2-2. They try to center it. And it's Chelios with a nice pass up ahead to David A. Jensen. He skates in and is taken down. And we've got a penalty coming up. So the Americans will have a power play when we come back with 6:03 left in the period. Al Michaels with Mike Eruzione, the captain of the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, in Sarajevo with a little bit more than 6 minutes remaining in the second period. To look there at the very obvious hooking penalty. And the U.S. with a power play. Millen trying to get it inside. Another fine save by Goldstein. Still the pressure is on. Bjugstad, the Fusco, his shot goes wide. And they are able to clear it out to center ice. Brook shooting it in along the boards. Bjugstad in the corner, and he loses the puck, but it's kept in at the point by Fusco, and then he has it taken out of his control, and back come the Norwegians. A minute 20 seconds remaining now in the penalty. Corey Millen, the smallest player on the team. It's a return pass from Fusco, and the Norwegians clear the zone again. So another problem for the Americans to get anything started here on the power play.
They haven't even been able to get the puck in the zone and set up. And I think once they are able to set up, they're able to move it a little better. But it's just a question of setting up.
Scott Fusco looking for somebody out in front. Nobody was there, and then they almost pass it back outside the blue line. And the puck comes loose again with 40 seconds remaining in the penalty. Now the LaFontaine line comes out. This is Pat with the puck. He scored a goal in the first period. Lead pass was too long for Olczyk. David A. Jensen in the corner. Olczyk is able to work it loose. Now LaFontaine comes in. Another great save. LaFontaine scrapping for it. We'll have another face-off with 14 seconds remaining.
Oh, that was a real nice save that Goldenstein made off of LaFontaine. No question, Pat's having a little bad luck around the net. Watch the save. Nice kick save. And then again, nobody there to pick up the rebound. Here's what the goalie was looking at. Watch LaFontaine. He walks out. He takes a nice quick backhand. But look at the save. Right with the left skate. Good reaction by Goldstein. Here's a look at Bobby Brook.
Let's put the backhand.
He hardly looks like the same goaltender who, as we said, has given up, or had given up prior to today's game, 11 goals in 44 minutes. The other goalkeeper, Martinson, had given up 15 goals in 75 minutes. 4 seconds now remaining in the penalty. And now the teams are at equal strength again. With 4 minutes remaining in the second period, the game tied 2-2. The only goal in the period scored by the Norwegians. Chelios shoots it along the boards. Norway keeping it in, but the puck did come out past the blue line, so an offside call here. 3:37 to go in the period. 3.5 minutes remaining as we come to you live from Sarajevo. 3.5 to go in the second period. We've just had an icing call. The United States and Norway tied 2-2, and that tells a good part of the story, Mike. 1 for 15 through the Olympics on the power play for the U.S.
Exactly. You know, let's take a look at the U.S. has had a lot of trouble scoring goals. They've only scored 1 on that power play, as you saw on the graphic. You know, if they could have had 4, which still isn't a real good statistic, at least it's a few more goals, and they're really having trouble. It's like a football team. You get the ball on the 20-yard line every game, and you don't have to win and score. And that's what these kids have to do in the power play, is capitalize on that opportunity.
Again, icing here. That's David H. Jensen, and we refer to him as David H. Jensen because the U.S. with a David A., number 7. And the parents of the Fuscos, John and Joanne Fusco, they too symbolizing the frustration that all of the folks rooting for the Americans must be feeling right now as they watch 2 of their sons, Mark and Scott, on the U.S. Olympic hockey team. 2-2 tie. 3 minutes to go now in the second period. And we'll be back right after this. 33 seconds remaining in the second period. The United States 2, Norway 2. As Sampson skates in over the blue line, Griffith was able to get his shot away, the backhand shot, but it was wide. And as is the case seemingly every 4 minutes, the net again must be replaced.
And again, after the play was made, the U.S. had possession of the puck, and the goaltender was down and out. Here's a nice play by Sampson. Watch the pass. He gets it across to Griffith, and it's just deflected wide right there. Now Griffith's going to pick up the puck, and the post comes off again. Here's the pass. Sampson, real nice feed, just wide. Now Griffith's going to pick up the puck and throw it out front. The goaltender's out of the play, and the net came with it. Such is life, Al.
Yep. There have been many goaltenders in the past, of course, who have done that on purpose with their shoulder. A great save again by Goldstein, who can't be the same man that's played in the first 2 games. Boy, he's going at a Sampson shot is wide. The U.S. keeping the pressure on as it comes out to the point. Griffith has it blocked by Abrahamsson. And back come the Norwegians. Roy Johansson skating in, tries to split the defense. Mason clears it to the boards. Brook back of the United States net. Norwegians do a good job of forechecking to momentarily take possession of the puck, but back comes Brook Kumpel the other way. He scored the shorthanded goal the other night. He's taken down, the pass going to Fusco, and then the shot by Sampson is blocked. Centering pass, and nobody is there, but Bjugstad comes up with it. Now Gay takes the carom, another pad save by Goldstein, and back it comes to center ice.
Well, in that situation, I think what maybe Gay should have done was take a wrist shot. He wound up on taking the slap shot, gives the goalie time to set himself and plan for the shot. A wrist shot, he could have got away a little quicker and might have been able to pick a spot a little easier. But again, I think that's just a little of the frustration that's going through the U.S. players right now, as they're trying to get as many shots as they can. Here's Gay. Instead of taking that big slap shot, giving the goaltender time to set up, maybe a little snapshot would have been a little better.
But that's the way things have been going. It looked as if things might turn promising toward the end of the first period with a 2-1 lead. But the Norwegians own the only goal here in the second period. And we're tied 2-2 with just over a minute to go. And a 3-on-1 now for the Norwegians. The Skara's shot is saved by Mason. Mason gets tested, and he's right there to make the save.
Well, USA caught definitely out of position in 3-on-1. 3 players, only 1 USA player back. Here's the shot. Now watch what happens. The save is made, and then he loses it. He doesn't know where it is. It's underneath him, then the whistle was blown, then the puck came free. But on a 3-on-1, got to credit Mason with a big save right here. See the puck between his legs? Oh, where is it? He's trying to find it. Picks it up just before the whistle blew. And again, Mason in a 3-on-1, something you don't expect to see. Here's a higher angle of it. Now he can't find the puck. Now watch how it's going to come free right here, but the whistle had already blown. That's why there was the whistle in the face-off.
We have 54 seconds remaining. I think it's 52 seconds remaining now in the second period. As you look at Bob Mason, mentioned earlier that Lou Biro, I know, had hoped to get off to a good start with maybe a win and a tie in the first 2 games. Had that been the case, you might have seen Mark Barron go all the way in this tournament as Jim Craig did in 1980, but he had to make the switch after the 2 losses.
Well, he was going into the games, he wasn't sure what goaltender. So when they looked back on the season, they found that Barron had played a little better against the Canadians and against the Soviet selects, and that's when he decided to go with Barron. There's the save off the face-off, and then obviously a high sticking, so they're going to call it back and have another face-off, this time to the right of Mason.
That was the point exactly. He felt that Barron had played better in the bigger games during the pre-Olympic schedule. In particular, those games against that Soviet select team that took place in December. And of course, the highlight was the game at Lake Placid on the 9th of December, won by the U.S. 5-4. Phil Bacota's goal in the waning moments of that game was the difference. 40 seconds remaining in the second period. Team skating at equal strength. Tied 2-2. Mark Fusco up ahead to David A. Jensen. Taken away by the captain, number 8, Mura. Up ahead to Losamoan. Winding up Lovedahl, and his shot is deflected as Mark Fusco comes up with it back of the net. 5 seconds now remaining in the second period. And so the U.S. team will go back into the dressing room after 40 minutes of play, tied with Norway. United States 2 and Norway 2.
Their chances of getting in the medal round are over. And obviously by that statement, they know what they have to do. They know they have 20 minutes of hockey to play. Nobody's going to play it for them but themselves.
What might you suspect was said in the locker room between periods?
I think just that. Boys, you got 20 minutes left. It's right now or never. And you've got to play the best you can in these 20 minutes because there's no tomorrow. I mean, they can play 2 more games after this and then go home. But they're too good a hockey team. This is not an 0-3 hockey team. This is a good hockey team, and they're struggling right now. And the unfortunate thing is this is the wrong time to struggle.
Here we go, third period getting underway. U.S. in blue, Norway in white. American team going left to right as you look at it now in the third period. And it's Tom Hirsch for the U.S. who loses the puck, and then he goes down to save what would have been a centering pass. And
well, Lou has 4 players here, so he's excited about his chances with what players are in the Olympic Games coming right over to the non-stars.
Mason made the save. Pass up ahead to Ed Olczyk. Backhanded pass to LaFontaine, and another save, and then Olczyk goes down as he can't handle the rebound. Up ahead, skating in, Bergsing sends a shot in on Mason. And it comes out to center ice.
Again, that line with LaFontaine having another good scoring opportunity, and the puck's just not falling right for Pat LaFontaine.
Mark Fusco shooting it into the corner. Brook chasing it now back of the net. Game tied 2-2. in the second minute of play in the third period. Kept in at the point by OG1984. And now Bob Brook comes away with a puck, but can't clear it as the Norwegians attempt to keep the pressure on. Skara centering pass, and nobody was there, and it comes back to center ice.
Mike, the only time that Norway has ever defeated the United States was in 1951 in the World Tournament in Paris, where they won 3-0. So for Norway to even be in the game at this point is somewhat of an upset in the United States team.
And we played 1 minute and 51 seconds of the third period. 17 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the game. There are no overtimes in the Olympics. Game tied 2-2.
Get in there deeper, forwards. Let's come up as a line. Forwards in there deeper.
Dave Peterson is the goalie coach. You saw him next to Lou Biro. Tim Taylor, also one of the assistants, along with Bob O'Connor for the United States. Chelios, a slap shot, and he nearly fanned on that. Chelios picks up his man now at the blue line, and the Norwegians are offside.
The U.S. doing a lot of alternating with their coaches. First game, they had that gentleman, Timmy Taylor, behind the bench, all by himself. Timmy taking a leave of absence from Yale University, where he is the head hockey coach. And Bob O'Connor, in the second game, was behind the bench, and up in the stands, rather. Doug Woog, the third coach, is up in the stands tonight. They've tried to just alter things, change things around to try to get, I don't know whether it's superstition or what. So tonight they've got two coaches behind the bench.
Try anything right now with a record of 0-2 and the game tied here. 2-2 in the third period. Centering pass, and Mira couldn't get his stick on it. Shot in around the boards and back of the net. Bob Brook out of Yale tries to come away with it. Now it's passed up ahead to Griffith. Brook chases it. Stefan Foyne gets checked. Griffith can't control. And Karlstad shoots it up ahead to Johansson. This is Mark Busko. Couple for Griffith. Trying to get it back to Sampson, but couldn't. And now Skara skates in over the blue line, but they're offside. We have 16:38 to go. Third period, a 2-2 tie, and it was Vestring who came in and had a chance, but couldn't control the puck as he was off to the left of Mason. The Americans trying to get it out of their own end, and it's got back in by Norway.
Now the longer that Norway can stay in this game, obviously the more difficult it's going to be, but I'm saying that United States, if they don't...
At the moment. Now a 3-on-1 with LaFontaine coming in, and another save. So Goldstein has been unconscious, a man who had given up 11 goals in 44 minutes, has turned aside all but 2 shots today. The U.S. ran into a hot goaltender in Gosselin in the Canada game. Then Schindel gave up just 1 in the Czech game. And Jörn Goldstein has been just shy of sensational today. Another look now. There he is, the goaltender, Jörn Goldstein.
Here's another save off LaFontaine. We said earlier that if Pat LaFontaine does not score, this U.S. team is going to find themselves in a great deal of trouble, and that's what's happened so far. He has been shut down in all 3 games. He has got 1 goal today, but he's had a lot of good scoring opportunities, and Goldenstein
remaining in the game. Frun Abrahamsen for the Norwegians. Up ahead to Stefan Foyne. Harrington can't control it at center ice for the U.S. Geir Mira. Foyne gets taken down. Mira again in the corner. And Corey Millen starts back the other way for the United States. Rakota, he couldn't get it over to Harrington. Boy, that's been happening a lot. The puck has been poke checked away for 3 games now. Every time the U.S. has a man advantage, a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2. Abrahamson winds up, slap shot, the save, the rebound, another save. And Harrington with the puck. That's not the reason.
That is not good enough.
14 and a half minutes to go in the game. The Samoan shooting it in, and it's kept in by Lien. This is Scarra, who's probably their best player. Losamo's shot is deflected off the glass, and we'll have a face-off in front of Bob Mason. The penalty box at this particular point simultaneously. That's David H. Jensen, number 28, and Scott Bjugstad, number 17, who are both sent off the ice at the 5:51 mark of the third period.
Well, I saw the Jensen penalty, but Bjugstad, I thought somebody else was going to be coming off with Bjugstad because they cut on his chin.
So it's 5 against 3 now. Both men in the box with 14 minutes to go in the game. A 2-man advantage for Norway. Losamon out to the point. Mira. They pass it around with the Americans trying to take the pressure off if they can somehow control the puck, which is very difficult to do when it's 3 against 5. Sometimes you need breaks like that.
That was a great play by Tom Hirsch. He had to decide whether he was going to gamble and try to make that play on that man, and if he got caught.
Nice sticking. Jensen in the penalty box for cross-checking. The other night, the Czechs were able to stave off a 2-man American advantage. The game tied 2-2 here with 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the American penalties. So a golden chance for the Norwegians. Skating 5-on-3. Skora, his pass. Losamon's shot and a save by Mason. Karlstad. Straight out in front. Slap shot, another great save by Mason. Sampson swipes at it but can't clear it. Sampson, Chelios, and Hirsch are the 3 American defenders in front of Mason with 48 seconds remaining now in the penalty. Another slap shot, and they scored. May have been deflected in. Right.
Maybe it wasn't deflected, but now the U.S. finds themselves in trouble.
Well, that sends Bjugstad out of the penalty box, but still 33 and now 32 seconds remaining in the penalty to David H. Jensen. With Norway on top, 3-2. This is Rakota stealing the puck, trying to stuff it in, couldn't. Rebound is saved, and nothing is going the Americans' way. It's as simple as that. 14 seconds remaining now in the penalty to David H. Jensen, and we've got a penalty coming up here.
Just to make them believe that they can win this game. Right now they're sitting back and they don't know what's happening to themselves.
The Jensen penalty is over. 1:47 now remaining in the U.S. power play, and it begins very inauspiciously with a shot on Mason, who has to make the save. David A. Jensen takes it over the blue line, back pass for LaFontaine. Pat can't handle it, and again they appear to be very disorganized, cannot get anything going on the power play.
And you know, the more you have the power play, the more you struggle, the more difficult it is to come back and try to get something going on it.
And they're offside here. So not at all. 1:12 remaining in the penalty.
They're really having their problems tonight.
I want to tell you, Norway beating the USA is as big an upset as the Americans beating the Soviets in 1980. Of course, it's not nearly as dramatic, doesn't have 1/1000th the impact, but it's about as big an upset in a sports sense.
Norway was in the C division last year and had moved up to the B division, then they moved up to the A division. But this is a team that, you know, does not belong in the same ice with the United States.
Hirsch winds up, his slap shot is saved, rebound, and nobody can get a stick on it. And back it comes to the point. Chelios circling to Hirsch. He has it blocked. LaFontaine to David A. Jensen, and Olczyk scores to tie the game.
That's what they needed.
Eddie Olczyk put it in.
Nice play by Eddie Olczyk. We talk about Olczyk being a mature type player and a mature type person, but he showed some good composure for a young kid. The puck was on the crease. He backed it up, waited, and put it in. Now watch what happens. First, a fine play by the Norwegian team. The first save is made. Now see how Olczyk pulled it back to his backhand, from his backhand rather, to his forehand, and lifted it into the net. And we see some emotion from the team. The bench cleared. They're back in the game. It's 3-3. They've got plenty of time, but they needed that goal right there at that point.
Came on the power play, only the second U.S. goal on a power play in the tournament thus far. We're tied 3-3, time remaining 10 minutes and 37 seconds. Olczyk from Jensen and LaFontaine. The official scoring. Stefan Foyne can't keep it in. Now Mark Fusco up ahead to his brother Scott. Sends it back of the net. Gay scraps for it. To Fusco, he's got Bustad in front. His shot was deflected. Mark Fusco is able to keep the puck in, scrapping for it as he moves into the corner. Now,
You see the smoothness of Ed Olczyk. Now the save is going to be made by the goaltender right here. Now watch Olczyk brings it to his forehand, very calmly lifts it over the net. Similar to the goal that Ed scored.
The game is tied 2-2 after 2, and we're tied 3-3 right now. 9.5 minutes remaining in the game. Chelios, couple, and Sampson couldn't get good wood. On that skating at equal strength, the Americans trying to put the pressure. Now this is Millen on the face-off. A reminder for our local stations, we will take a station. U.S. It's Rakota with Millen. He's trying to get it over to Corey, and it wasn't a judicious pass. There were two white jerseys between the pair. Out to center ice, where it's controlled by Foyne. Now taken off his stick by Millen to Rakota. Rakota trying to get it over to Harrington, and the pass was intercepted, and the Norwegians come back the other way. This is Skora. Taken off his stick by Brook. Now sweeping in, all the way in, and the shot is saved off the stick of Scott Fusco as the net comes loose again.
Again, they're starting, Al, to have good shifts. The Olczyk line came out and had a good shift. There's a almost a 2-on-0, it seems. I think what Scott should have tried to do is get the puck over to the open man. Here's a look at the play. Fusco has got a man on him. He's being bothered. He's got to try to just maybe slide it across. He does get a little backhander off. It goes wide. Here's another look at it. The puck is deflected by the goaltender. And then Scott goes in, causes the face-off. As again, the net comes off.
Well, they're skating well. They're having States trying to keep alive its medal round hopes, needing a victory to do so. Tied 3-3 with under 5 minutes remaining in the game. The number one line out there right now.
And the U.S., Al, it seems at this point is going.
We've stressed adequately today the fact that this would be a tremendous upset, and as Mike said, even a tie is a major upset. Chelios' shot is a pant save. Chasing it into the corner is Johansson, who has lost his stick, and he's still able to tie it up. Now he loses his helmet as well, and we'll be right back after this. Watching his team with 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the game, tied 3-3. As the puck comes loose and taken down is LaFontaine trying to get it over to Olczyk and couldn't, and back it comes to center ice.
Oh, they're not even getting any breaks. There should have been a tripping penalty as Pat LaFontaine. There's no question he was hauled down in that situation.
Hirsch up ahead to David A. Jensen. Taken out of the play very nicely by Abrahamsson. Chelios able to keep it in from the blue line. Hirsch now losing it, but it's Jensen keeping it in the Norwegian zone. LaFontaine's shot, deflection anyway, was wide into the corner, and back come the Norwegians. Scorer, number 19. Slap shot goes wide. Off the stick of Bergson. Scored a goal in the first period. New shift coming out now. Millen, Harrington, and Vrakota forming this U.S. line as Phil Vrakota comes in to Millen, and then he can't handle the puck as Mira comes back the other way with 3:11 remaining in the game. Mark Fusco leaves it for Brook back of the net. He loses the puck. Bergson has it. Can't control it. Brook tries to get it out of head and can't. And it's Mark Fusco back of the net again for the U.S. With the clock ticking down. 2:48 remaining in the game. This is Millen. Corey skates in over the blue line. Has Harrington with him. John in the corner with it. Now Gay tries to control. And Harrington ties it up along the board.
Now, we mentioned the United States going with 4 defensemen. Well, Norway right now, and for the last few minutes, has gone with 4 defensemen and only 2 lines. They're not even using their other 2 lines. Now, I don't know if that's going to have any effect in the last minute because they may be a little tired, but right now, Norway is doing exactly what they want to do. They're dumping the puck in. They're trying to maintain puck control. They're having a lot of face-offs, slowing the pace down, not letting the U.S. get started. And now, with a 3-3 tie, we need a goal.
The United States unofficially with 33 shots on goal to this point. Norway 21. Again, we'll reiterate they do not play overtime in the Olympics. It's not like the National Hockey League where they play a 5-minute sudden death. If it's a tie, it's a tie, and you get a point in the standings, and that is not what the U.S. needs. They need a victory.
Come on, guys. Say, let's go, let's go.
Pro Bowlers Tour will follow. Live from Florissant, Missouri. Nelson Burton Jr., Chris Schenkel's colleague, we understand, in 4th place. So no commentary from Bo today, I suppose. A lot of on-camera time, though. .220 remaining in the 3rd period. This is Sampson now. Long pass for Bjugstad. Bjugstad with a good pass for Sampson, but he was taken out of the play, and the puck comes back to center ice. And the Norwegians are offside as Lovedahl carried it in. So we have 1 minute and 59 remaining in the game.
You know, we talked about this line that's out in the ice right now, Olczyk, Jensen, and LaFontaine. And I said earlier that if the U.S. team was going to win close games, Pat LaFontaine, as we look at Pat's mother chanting, Pat LaFontaine would be the man to score that goal because all year long he's been the leader on the ice. He's been the big goal scorer.
He's out there now. He has the puck. LaFontaine to Jensen, and his shot is saved. An incredible save by Goldstein again as the puck came loose. And they begin to mix it, but more in frustration than anything else. A perfect scoring opportunity, but it's been that way basically for 3 days for the U.S. team. The puck momentarily came loose out of the glove of Goldstein, and then he recaptured it.
Great play by LaFontaine to get the puck to Jensen. Look at the glove save. Oh, and I'll tell you, when things aren't going for you and the puck's not bouncing, then you've got to run into a goaltender like that with a fine glove save. You've got to be frustrated.
147.
Come on, Blue, right now.
Dave Peterson and Lou Vero and Tim Taylor in the background. Again, it's Olczyk and LaFontaine and David A. Jensen out there. They're the guys that have to do it. And they're running out of time with the score tied. And Norway is able to clear the end. Bob Brooks skating back to get it. Up ahead to Mark Fusco. Now to Pat LaFontaine. He skates in over the blue line. Pat is able to keep it in. Olczyk sets up in front of the net. Now Eddie has to scrap for it in the corner and gets taken down. No penalty. LaFontaine. Olczyk has lost his helmet. Olczyk passes back out to the point and shot in from there and blocked in front.
31 goals for them this season. LaFontaine had 56.
But it's interesting that they have a combination out here right now that hasn't played together in the 3 games in the Olympics.
Oh, they're just trying to get your goal scorers out on the ice. They have Hirsch and Chelios, their 2 best defensemen.
Get the shooters out there. They need to shoot. And they need to do it in a hurry. In the final minute of the game now. Bjugstad. To Hirsch. LaFontaine, meanwhile, has been on the ice for almost 4 minutes.
They've got to pull the goaltender, Al. I don't know why they don't have Mason out for the extra skater.
Puck in front, but unable to be controlled by Bjugstad. Now it's Fusco back of the net. This is LaFontaine. Bjugstad is lurking in front, but they can't get the puck to him. And now Mason has left, so the extra skater is up front for the American team. Sampson on the face-off. Norway trying to clear the end. Olczyk and LaFontaine now scrapping for the puck. They try to center it, and it comes back outside the blue line. Chelios with 10 seconds. They've got to move it up the ice and pray it goes in somehow. With 7 seconds. Now Chelios, they have to take a shot on goal and may not even get it. And they won't as this game comes to an end. No, with 3 seconds remaining, they call an offside. An offside and one more chance, but a chance in 1,000 right now to face off outside the blue line. So Mark Fusco looking on very dejectedly. It's been a very tough week for Vero, for everybody concerned with this team, obviously. And this is an embarrassment in a way to be tied by Norway.
Well, it's, again, very frustrating, obviously, but when you look at the success that we've had against Norway, the type of hockey team that they are, I really believe a real good college team could maybe come over here and beat Norway, but nothing's going right for the U.S. team. They're struggling. They're not getting the bounces.
And it's all over today.
Probably doubting themselves, and that's the sad part, because they, again, how can you say it, but they are a good team now. They are a good hockey team.
Well, it's been just a week of utter and complete frustration as Norway, in a major upset,